how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another live stream where we're basically going to be doing, honestly, the Scream character tier list here. So all the characters in the whole franchise, as you guys can see. Um, so we're basically just going to go over them one by one. You know, just going to wait for some people, obviously, to get in here. Somebody will eventually get in here probably pretty soon. But um, as of right now, I'm gonna start. We're gonna start out. Just do it in order. Start out with Billy Loomis, and basically just work our way up. Um, so first things first. Um, 1 minute here. Okay. So first things first. What we're gonna do is, so we're just basically gonna go in order. So we're gonna go Billy Loomis, Casey Becker, Dewey Riley, Gail Weathers, Principal Hembry, Kenny the cameraman, Randy Meeks, um, Sheriff Burke, Sidney Prescott, Stu Macher, Tatum Riley, CC Cooper, Cotton Weary, uh, Derek, Hallie McDaniel, Joel, Maureen Evans, Mickey, Miss Loomis, Phil Stevens, Angelina, Jennifer, John Milton, Mark Kincaid, Martha Meeks, Roman Bridger, uh, Sarah Darling, um, Stephen Stone, um, Tom Prinz, I think his name is, yeah. Tom, Tyson, Charlie Walker, Jill Roberts, Judy Hicks, Kirby Reed, Olivia Morris, Rebecca Walters, uh, Robbie Mercer, I think that's his name. Trevor Sheldon, Amber Freeman, Chad Meeks, Liv McKenzie, Mindy Meeks, uh, Richie, Sam, Tara, Vince, Wes, uh, Anika, I believe her name is, or Anika, Danny, Ethan, Jason, Laura, and Quinn, and then Wayne Bailey. So that's the whole list of basically everybody in the whole franchise, all the way Scream 1 all the way to Scream 6. So without further ado, let's get started. So number one obviously is Billy Loomis. Now Billy Loomis is obviously always going to be the best. So if I'm being honest, he's always going to be the best. So he's going to automatically go at the top. So there you go. He's going to be in the S tier. And then we got obviously Casey Becker. Casey Becker is another great, another legend in my opinion. That's just what I feel like, anyways. So if I'm going with that, I think she's up there with Billy Loomis, if I'm being honest. So we got Billy Loomis and Casey Becker and in the S tier. So that's like the GOAT tier, like one of the best. Then obviously Dewey Riley. I mean, do we really have to vote? Do we really even have to? I mean, we already know he's up there with Casey Becker and Billy Loomis, right? And And then obviously we got Gail Weathers. Obviously, Gail Weathers is obviously she's up there too. S tier. I mean, that's pretty easy to me. Um, and basically, I'm gonna go like after I'm finished with all like. So I'm just gonna go with talk about like the reasonings and why, you know, they're up here. Well, number one, Billy Loomis is always gonna be the best because he was in the first Scream movie. Casey Becker was obviously great. In Scream 1996, Dewey Riley is obviously an OG. So is Gail Weathers. So it's hard for me not to put them up there um, on the S tier. Um, so it'd be pretty hard for me not to. Um, so obviously we got coming up next. We got Principal Henry. Now, Principal Henry is not really that. I mean, I don't think he's all that great, if I'm being honest with you. Like, so I'd probably put him probably in between. If I'm being honest with you, I think I would put him in between like B plus and A plus. I don't know. I'd probably put him. I guess I'll put him in the B plus for right now. Um, that may change, but I think for right now I'm gonna put him in B plus because I think that's like his character wasn't that bad, but at the same time, like I feel like his character wasn't really that enjoyable either. You know what I mean? Like because he was in Scream 1996, which is the best movie in the franchise. Um, but I don't really know. I mean, should I put him in the B or the A? Because I think the B tier should be like where he should go. Um, yeah, I think he goes. I think he's gonna be in the B, just because, like I said, he's not that enjoy. I mean, he's not really that enjoyable if I'm being honest. Like, obviously, Henry Winkler as an actor, he's a good actor, but he's just not. His character in that film wasn't really that enjoyable, I guess, but still iconic, I guess. So it's not terrible. Um, and then we got obviously coming up next, we got Kenny the cameraman. Now, Kenny the cameraman, in my opinion, I think that he's automatically at the S tier. And the reason why is because the reason why he's in the S tier is because he's, in my opinion, I think he's a legend. He was in the first Scream movie. I found him to be pretty, hilarious in Scream 1996. So he's gonna go up there in the S tier with Billy Loomis, Casey Becker, Dewey Riley, and Gail. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed Kenny the cameraman. So that's why he's on the S tier. Obviously coming up next, we already know the answer to this. Randy Meeks. I mean, S tier automatically. Put him a little bit above Kenny. Just because he's he's an OG. He was an OG, and even though like they got killed, even though he got killed in Scream 2, which was a shock. I still think that he's always going to be like an OG. So he's up there with Dewey Riley and Gail for sure, and Casey Becker and Billy. And it was sad that we lost him too soon, like I was saying, in Scream 2, but I think he deserves to be. He deserves to be up there. Uh, so coming up next, we got Sheriff Burke. Uh, Sheriff Burke is kind of a little difficult. I mean, I kind of enjoyed him, for what he was. But if I'm being honest with you, I think he's right there with Principal Henry. Like, I mean, I guess he was okay, but not really that great, I guess. So if I had to be honest with you, I think he's probably in the B tier, if I'm being honest. Um, so I think that's where I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him a little bit above um, Principal Henry there, just because. I mean, he's don't get me wrong, he's a great character. I enjoyed him, but to me, he's not really up there like that. He's not really that enjoyable either. Like he's a decent character, but he's not really that enjoyable. Um, so that's just my opinion. So yeah, he's gonna go right there in the B tier with Principal Henry there. And then coming up next, obviously you guys know the myth, the legend, the final girl, Sydney Prescott. And you guys already know she's gonna be ahead of Casey Becker. She's gonna even be ahead of Billy Loomis because she's the final girl, and she's always gonna be up there. So I mean that's easy. Um, and then coming up next, we got Stu Macher. Stu Macher. And you guys already know where I'm gonna go with this. It's easy. He's gonna go up there with Billy in the S tier, and I would put him ahead of Billy because a lot of people did enjoy him a little bit more than Billy. Well, yeah, I would put him a little bit ahead of Billy for now, but I think for right now, that's a pretty good list so far. I would say. We got Sydney up there. We got Stu. And the reason why I think Stu is better than Billy in some ways, just because he didn't really have a motive, of why he was killing. Billy Loomis didn't either. Like seemed like he was more like creepier. But I don't know why I enjoy like Stu a little bit more. Like, I mean, I enjoy. You know what? I'm gonna put Billy. I'm gonna put Billy in front of him still, but Stu's still up there because Billy is pretty creepy, and of course she's gonna be always, number one along with Stu. So I mean, regardless of where I put them, I guess they're in the S tier together. Um, that's all that really matters. So coming up next, um, we got Tatum Riley, and you guys already know where I'm gonna go with this. Tatum Riley, you guys could say she was kind of a dickhead and all that. But Tatum Riley wasn't that much of a dickhead, if I'm being honest. Like I don't think Tatum Riley was that much of a dickhead. Like I think that her brother, that was basically okay, maybe she was a little bit of a dickhead. That's just because her brother, that's basically what her character is. You know? And of course, brother and sister is gonna fight, with each other. So I'm not gonna really blame her for that. So if I'm being honest with you, I'm gonna put her up there with in the S tier as well. Put her a little bit above Kenny the cameraman there. Um, and actually, I'm gonna move Dewey Riley a little bit ahead of Casey Becker, obviously, and Gale. I mean, like I said, even Brandy, Casey Becker is an iconic character, But for right now, I'm just gonna put Dewey, Gale, and Randy ahead of her right now because obviously she's more iconic. They're more they're icons, you know. Um, I put Tatum a little bit above her too. Well, I guess for right now, yeah, I'll just put her a little bit above. Um, so coming up next, we got Cece from Scream Two. Now, instead, all of these characters up here is from Scream 1996. So now we're moving on to the Scream 2 characters, which is going to be very interesting. Um, so we got Cece Cooper from Scream 2. Now, I think she's going to go up there, if I'm being honest. Or I guess I'll put her at the. Man, this is so difficult, man. Like, I don't know where to put her, to be honest, because she's enjoyable. I really enjoyed her a lot, you know. But man, this is really, really difficult. But I think if I'm being honest, I'll probably have to put her on the S tier. You know, I just find her character to be enjoyable. That's just personally me. Even though she wasn't really in the movie all that much. Um, Scream 2 is a great film, and I think she deserves to be up there. You know, with um, in the S tier. Um, Coming up next, we got um Cotton Weary. Cotton Weary. Obviously, you guys know that he got killed in Scream 3. Sadly, we didn't get to see enough of him. You know, I would have loved to see more of him in the Scream franchise. Sadly, we didn't get to see that, though. We didn't get to see him, you know, we didn't get to see him like in Scream 4 or anything. Like, he just died in Scream 3, sadly. So, we didn't really get to see much of him. You know, in Scream 2, he basically was like a hero. You know, he got framed for, you know, Sydney's mother's death. And then basically in Scream 2, he becomes like a hero and all that. And him and Sydney end up, you know, living, surviving. Well, then after that, Scream 3, he just dies. And a lot of that has to do with, the actor. The actor wanted to get killed off, so I mean, you can't really blame him, I guess. But it's kind of sad to see. I would have loved to see more of Cotton Weary. You know, would have loved to see more of his character, especially like in Scream 4 and all that. But unfortunately, we never got to see it. Um, so Cotton Weary, obviously, you guys already know he's going to be in the S tier. You know, hands down. A lot of people don't find his character to be enjoyable, but I think he's really enjoyable. I think he's an underrated. I think he's an underrated character, honestly. If I'm being honest, because he got framed for killing Sydney's mother and all that, and he's just a character. He's basically like a background character, but he's still, you know, a part of the story to me. So he's gonna go up there in the S tier. Um, and then coming up next, we got um, Derek from Scream 2. So these are all Scream 2 characters, you know, for right now until we move on to Scream 3. But for now, we only got 1, 2, 3, 7 more Scream 2 characters. So, um, so yeah. So Derek from Scream 2. If I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I think that he's probably. What do I think about him? What do I think about him? Dude, this is really difficult, actually. Like, I mean, he's an enjoyable character, but I'm kind of debating like where to put him right now. I mean, he's an enjoyable character and all, but you know, I just don't think that. I don't think he's that great. So I guess I would put him because originally, if you guys don't remember, he was supposed to be one of the Ghostface killers in Scream 3 or Scream 2, excuse me. Um, he was supposed to be one of the Ghostface killers. Him and Sydney's friend, Hallie, they were going to be the Ghostface killers together originally. But I kind of would have loved to see that. But like I said, I guess it is what it is. I don't really know. Man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put him in the A tier for right now because I think he's a pretty good character, but I don't think he's really good enough to be in the S tier. So, um, okay, Hallie McDaniel. Now, obviously, Sydney's friend. Now, she's really not that enjoyable either. She's just basically Sydney's friend, you know, that just gets killed, in the film. She doesn't, she's not really that enjoyable, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think she's that enjoyable personally. I just don't think that she has what it takes to be in the S tier. So if I had to be really honest with you, I'm gonna put her in the A tier for right now. So she's gonna go right there with Derek. Um Now on to the next one, Joel the cameraman. Now Joel the cameraman is one of my personal favorites. Um One of my personal favorites um, characters in Scream 2. I think he's pretty hilarious. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's pretty damn funny. Um, I find him to be really enjoyable. So if I had to be honest with you, I think he's gonna go up here in the S tier. And we got a guest here. How's it going, man? We're just doing a Scream character um, tier list. So if you want to like join in with me, like, cause I already, as you already know, we already got Sydney, we got Billy, we got Stu, Dewey Riley, Gail, Randy, Cotton Weary, Tatum, Casey Becker, Kenny the cameraman, CC Cooper, and Joel. Um, Derek, Hallie McDaniel, Sheriff Burke, and uh, Principal Hembry all like on here already. But we're gonna be moving on to Maureen Evans now, obviously played by Jada Pinkett. Um, I think that she's probably, I would say she's up there too. I would say she's up there because she's one of the big celebrities. I mean, she's just a big celebrity, kind of like, Drew Barrymore, I think Jada Pinkett was pretty big back then. So I think she deserves to be in the S here. So coming up next, we got obviously the killer, Mickey. Now Mickey's a really great killer. I really enjoyed him as a killer. You know, so if I had to be honest with you, I don't know what your thoughts are, man, but I really do think, personally, I really do think that he deserves to be in the S tier. If I'm being honest with you, Um, but I don't know how you feel about that. Um, I just think his character, him as a killer. I mean, I think he's pretty good. Um, so if I had to be honest with you, I'm gonna put him in the S tier. I think he's gonna go up there with Billy Inch too. Um, if I'm being honest, just because, like I said, he's just a great killer. If I'm being honest with you, like I really enjoyed him as a killer. Maybe he wasn't the greatest, but he also wasn't he wasn't bad, you know. But he's definitely, I think he deserves to be in the S tier personally. Um, so coming up next, obviously we got his partner, which is Billy's mother, as you know, Miss Loomis. Now, Miss Loomis is not that enjoyable to me, if I'm being honest. Um, I think Mickey is hands down better than her. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we all agree with that. I don't know if you agree with that, man, but I just don't think that she's that great. Um, I don't think she's great enough to be in the S tier right now. So I think she's gonna be. I'm gonna put her in the C tier because she's really not that enjoyable to me. Um, sorry about that, Miss Loomis, but you're just not that enjoyable to me. I'm sorry. Sorry to break it to you, but so anyways, we got another character coming up next. Um, we got Phil Stevens, obviously the boyfriend of Maureen Evans, and you guys already know where he's gonna go because it's Omar Epps, and Omar Epps is really big, during those days, in the early '90s and all that. I know, like he was probably one of the biggest celebrities, the biggest actors, like so. If I'm being honest with you, he's gonna be in the A tier or the S tier as well, along with Maureen Evans. Um, and there you go. So far we got Sidney Prescott. Um, so we got Sidney Prescott. We got Billy Loomis, Stu Macher, Mickey, Dewey, Gail, Randy, Cotton, Tatum, Casey Becker, Kenny Brown, Cece Cooper, Joel, Phil Stevens, and Maureen Evans. Those are all in the S tier. And then the A tier is obviously Derek and Hallie. And then the B tier, Sheriff Burke and Principal Henry. And then the C so far is Miss Loomis. So that's basically our list so far. I mean, that's pretty good. You know. And now we're going to be moving on to the next Scream film, which is none other than Scream 3. So Scream 3 characters now. And obviously, the first character that we're going to be doing is Angelina Tyler, which you guys already know where I'm going to put her. I mean, she deserves, honestly, I think she deserves to be in the S tier, if I'm being honest, because I really enjoyed her, even though she wasn't like revealed as the Ghostface killer. I truly do think that she deserves a lot of credit. You know, maybe she's not that in the movie that damn much, but at least to me, I think she is pretty enjoyable still. And as you guys know, I'm a defender. I'm a defender of that movie. And so I think if I'm being honest with you, I think she's going to go right up there in the S tier because she is underrated. And Scream 3, as I said, as a whole, is an underrated film. So she's going to go up there in the S tier there. So coming up next, we got Jennifer Jolie. Jennifer Jolie is another character that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Jennifer Jolie, if I'm being honest with you. Like I said, this is all. I know this may sound like Scream 3 bias because I like Scream 3 and all that, and no, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I really do think that these characters are legitimately good. I think Jennifer Jolie is the best, probably in the movie, like one of the best. Obviously, nobody's gonna top Sydney, but I think she's one of the best. She's like the most underrated. Um, so if I had to put her in a tier, I'm gonna put her in the S tier as well, up there with Angelina, because I find her to be enjoyable, and she's probably one of the best, probably in the franchise. So yeah. So moving on to the next character is John Milton. Now, John Milton obviously was the person that supposedly raped. I guess he had got Maureen Prescott pregnant. I believe that's supposedly what had happened, and I heard that he had raped her and all that. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I don't really care for his character all that much. I mean, I think he was Roman's father, but I'm gonna put him down here with Miss Loomis. Of course, I'm gonna put him ahead of Miss Loomis, but I'm just gonna put him down there because I don't. I mean, who likes a rapist? Nobody. And plus, I don't find any. I don't find like any enjoyment in his character. So, he's gonna definitely go there. And we got some people in the chat, I believe. And how's it going? He said Kirby and Santeria. Yeah, we're getting there. We're just, like I said, we're just going in order. I'm doing the Scream 3 character tier list, and then we're moving on to Scream 4. What's going on, Nick? Thank you for popping in. We're just doing a Scream character tier list here. Obviously, you've seen all my tiers so far. Right now, we're actually on Scream 3. Then we'll be moving on to Scream 4, and then 5, and then 6. We're just going to be I've been basically going in order. So obviously coming up next, we got Mark Kincaid. Now, Mark Kincaid is an absolute great character. No doubt about it. And a lot of people don't enjoy him because he's in Scream 3. And I mean, I could understand in a lot of ways, but to me, I think that he's one of the absolute best. One of the best characters, one of the most underrated characters. If I'm being honest with you. So that's definitely my take on it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think Scream 3, as I said, and you guys may say, well, this is just, I'm just being biased and all that. Well, yeah, it's that too, of course, because I love the film. I love Scream 3 so much. It's such a great movie. Like I said, the rewatchability is just really high. I could watch that as many times. I could watch that over and over and over. I just think it's the most underrated. So if I'm being honest with what with what I'm going. Like, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I think he's going up there in the S tier, hands down, hands down. And I think he's going right there next to Tatum Riley. I would say he's a little bit higher than Tatum Riley. But yeah, I just think he's underrated. Um, and he says, "I'm making a Scream 7 fan fiction with Christine and Leslie." Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Um, hey, Ghostface, how's it going? Two boys and their scary pops. How you doing, man? We're just doing a Scream character tier list. We're basically just going in order. Like I said, we're just going. We're doing Scream 3 right now. Then we'll be moving on to Scream 4 and then Scream 5 and so forth. So yeah. What part 3 in horror movie world was the best? Part 3. Wait, like, what do you mean by that? Like, you're basically asking like what's my favorite like what part 3 in horror movie world was the best part 3? um Scream 3. Scream 3 was definitely the best. I think Scream 3 was hands down the best. And like I said, I'm such a defender of Scream 3. Like, I don't know if you know that, but I'm a defender, and I think that movie just gets too much hate when it doesn't even deserve. Hate that it just doesn't deserve the hate, in my opinion. So I just definitely think Scream 3 is the most underrated, and also I think Roman is the most underrated. But here we go. We are going to be moving on to this next tier, and this is going to be Martha Meeks from Scream 3. Now, Martha Meeks, in my opinion, is not really that. I mean, she's pretty enjoyable, I guess, even though she wasn't really in Scream 3 that much. That kind of hurts her a little bit to be in the S tier. So if I'm being honest with you, I think that she's gonna go up there or she's gonna be in the A tier. Um, um, so yeah, she's gonna be in the A tier. Like I said, I don't really. I mean, she's okay, I guess, but she wasn't really in the movie that much. So I mean, so who was the father of Roman? The father of Roman is believed to be the father of Roman is believed to be John Milton from Scream 3, because he had raped Maureen Prescott and got her pregnant. So therefore, she was pregnant and all that, and all that would mean that Roman basically that he's the father of Roman. Then, you know what I mean? That's just the way I look at it. So yeah, I think John Milton was his father. Yeah, yep, A tier, yep. That's where I put Martha Meeks. That's why I think she deserves to be. I mean, she's not that bad of a character, but she just doesn't. I think it hurts her a lot because she's not in the movie as much. It kind of hurts her for a little. But she's in a decent spot, I think. Wouldn't you agree with that? Okay, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now coming up next, my favorite killer in the whole franchise, Roman Bridger. Now, Roman Bridger, man, I'm telling you, man, he gets so much hate. So much hate because he's in Scream 3. You know? He gets so much hate. So, if I'm being honest with you, I think, and not only do I think, the reason why I think he's underrated is because he started all the events in Scream 1996. And another reason is because I think he's the most like unique killer in the franchise. And he's the only one that basically did it alone. You know, he basically did the killings by himself. So that makes him even more unique, in my opinion. And the only killer to wear a bulletproof vest. So if I had to really be honest with you, I think he's in the S tier, hands down. Because, like I said, he's my favorite killer. I think he's even ahead of Billy, if I'm being honest. I mean, Billy Loomis is always going to be the best, of course, and I have nothing against. I have nothing against Billy Loomis, but for me, I think Roman's the one that started it all. You know, and yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Um, how could he have done everything solo? Well, maybe like I said, he had a partner. Like I said, Angelina was secretly like his partner and all that in Scream 3. Are you talking about the events of Scream 1996? Are you talking about, you know, because I really don't know how he would have did it. He could have had a partner. Maybe he was working with Stu. Maybe he was working with Billy, in that film somehow. So maybe he really wasn't doing it alone. Maybe there's some scenes where he was basically working with them, Um, but he's the one that basically told Billy and Stu to start, to kill Marine and all that. So he's basically the one that started all the events. So I definitely have to. He definitely deserves to be in the S tier. And yeah, he definitely gave us. He definitely gave us the voice change as well, which that's unique in my opinion. Um, well, I think that honestly, I really do think that Angelino. Honestly, think that Angelina was the second killer. But what I think truly happened, I don't think they revealed her as the killer because they basically, I think Roman kind of wanted to do it all. Like he wanted to deal with Sydney on his own. Like he didn't want anybody else involved with him, and he wanted it to do, take care of her by himself because obviously it was more personal to him. So he wanted to do it by himself instead of having a partner, if you know what I mean. So Angelino, I think Angelina could be alive, honestly, because the way she dies, and also she's not on the official kill list either. Like I think I think it's believable, and plus we didn't see her die at all. We only saw her body get dragged away, and that was it. Um, but yeah, Roman to me, I think Roman's going in the S tier. I'm sorry, dude. He's just underrated. I think he's even a little bit ahead of Billy, if I'm being honest. Um, just because I love Roman a lot. He's just the most underrated in my opinion. In my opinion, a lot of people may not like him as much as I do, but I think he's the one that started all the events. He was the main one that basically started the whole thing in 1996. So he's definitely got to be up there, and I think he's the best overall killer and the smartest. So that's why I think that he's the best. So he's definitely up there with in the S tier with Billy and Stu. Um, so we got another character coming up next. I just moved so lots to do. Everything is good. Thank God. Oh, oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're just going over, like I said, these tiers and all that. So coming up next, we got Sarah Darling. Now, Sarah Darling obviously is going to go in the S tier for me as well. I think Sarah Darling is probably the most like enjoyable character. If I'm being honest, like one of the most enjoyable. And like I said, I'm just the most. I'm just a defender of this film, so I can't help it. I can't help but put him in the S tier. Um, so if I'm being honest, yeah, that's where she's gonna go. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, but she deserves to be in the S tier. Um, if I'm being honest, so yeah, Sarah Darling is definitely gonna be in um in the S tier there. So now coming up next, we got Steven Stone, the bodyguard. Now, you all know that I think he's funny. I think he's enjoyable as well. Just the whole, dude, he was calling Dewey like dude drop and all that. I think that shit was funny. Um, I think he's definitely in the S tier as well. And all these characters in this movie, man, like, are so underrated in so many ways, you know, and it's not even funny, It's not even funny. Not even funny. But so if I'm being honest with you, I think Steven Stone is in. I would put him probably. Yeah, he's gonna go in the S tier for me as well. He's just so enjoyable, man. Like I don't know what it is, but you know who we're forgetting? Who they're forgetting in this whole thing is they're forgetting that girl in the opening, Cotton's girlfriend in the beginning. But I guess it's whatever. I mean, um, okay. So what did he say? So who got the best kill in three? I don't know, man. I think that kill with I think the house blowing up is pretty damn epic. If I'm being honest with you, and I think also the balcony kill when he throws when he throws that black guy Tyson off of the balcony. Um, I think that's pretty damn brutal. But if I had to be honest, I think I will go with the house exploding. I think that was probably the most like craziest scene, the most craziest like kill. Even though, um, because we have never seen nothing like that, basically a house that's exploding. So it's definitely something like different. So I definitely think the house exploding um, was definitely one of the best in all the movies. I think, like I said, that balcony kill was pretty brutal as well. Um, if I'm being honest, so if I had to choose, I'd probably go with the house. The house blowing up was probably like the best kill in the movie. I just think it was like creative. But yeah, I definitely would probably go with that. Coming up next, we got. Okay, so coming up next, we got Tom. Now, Tom is one of the character that obviously got blown up in the house. The character that Speaking of talking about the house blowing up, we got the character that was in the house. We're gonna have to rank him. So I don't think he's really that as good. And so Tom, obviously, he's not really. I mean, he's pretty enjoyable, I guess, somewhat. I mean, so if I had to be honest with you, I don't know what you think. Two boys and their scary pops. Where do you think Tom should go? But I definitely think that he deserves to kind of be in. If I had to be honest, I would probably say the B tier or the A tier. Um, but I don't know how you feel about that at all. And the B tier, okay, yeah, I think that I could be down with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think B tier it is. He just wasn't that. I mean, I probably put him a little bit ahead of Principal Henry, probably in the middle there. But yeah, like he wasn't that enjoyable to me. I mean he was enjoyable, but he also wasn't like he's not good enough to be in the S tier in my opinion. You know. So the last but not least, the last character of Scream 3, um, Tyson Fox. So Tyson Fox was obviously the one that got thrown off the balcony, if you remember. Um, he's definitely, I think he should be in the S tier, if I'm being honest. I just think that he's the more like enjoyable characters as well. Like even though he's not really like as enjoyable, let's say, as like he's not like Joel or anything like that, in my opinion. But he's definitely one of he's pretty enjoyable, if I'm being honest. So if I'm being honest, I would probably put him in the A tier. Um, I don't know if what your opinions are on that, but I think the A tier is probably decent enough for him. Um, Next to Martha Meeks. Um, so I think I'm gonna put him in the. I'm gonna put him in the A tier. I think the A tier makes a lot of sense. Just because he's not really. I mean, he's enjoyable, but he's not up there with like he's not good enough to be in the S tier. So, and that's gonna do it for Scream 3. Now moving on to Scream 4 characters. So the first Scream 4 character that we have that we're gonna start with is none other than Charlie Walker, one of the killers. And I have to be honest, Charlie Walker is probably the most boringest killer probably in the franchise. If I'm being honest with you, I think Nancy. I think Miss Loomis is bad, but I think Charlie is a lot worse. Um, I didn't really enjoy him as much as I did, let's say like Mickey, or even like I said, Roman. Like Roman's way better than him, in my opinion. Um, and I just didn't really enjoy, I didn't really enjoy Charlie Walker, you know? So I mean, if I had to be honest, I would probably say he's in the C or the D, you know, because I just don't really find enjoyment in him. I know a lot of people do. And don't get me wrong, Scream 4 is a great film. It's a great film, but Charlie as a killer is just not for me. That's just my personal opinion on that. I don't know how you feel about it, but Two Boys and the Scary Pops. But like I was saying, I just I just think that he's not really enjoyable. I don't think he's that enjoyable compared um to like the one like Mickey, Roman, like Bill and Stu. I don't think he's up there with them. Like, so if I had to be honest with you, I think that he's gonna go in the D tier. I'm sorry, dude. I just can't. I just can't with him. He's just not. He's just not my favorite. He's just not my favorite. You know. I think the D tier is a pretty good spot for him, if I'm being honest, because I just don't really care for him like that. I mean, he's just not that enjoyable. So coming up next, um, we got Jill Roberts. Now, Jill Roberts is obviously the best. She's way better than Charlie. So I think Jill Roberts is definitely definitely an A. Um, Go back to the A or whatever. I think she's gonna go up to the A, excuse me, or the S, excuse me. I think she's gonna definitely go up there in the S tier, if I'm being honest with you, just because I do think that she does a great job. I think Jill Roberts is a great killer. Um, so if I'm being honest with you, I definitely think that she definitely deserves to be up there in the S tier, along with the likes of Billy and Roman so and even Mickey. So she's up there in the S tier because I find her enjoyable. Um, what did they need to go back to format to guy format maybe. Um, what do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by that. What's up, everyone? I smashed that like button before I can. This is awesome stream and chat. Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. How's it going, Russell? We're just doing a tier list of all screen characters. We're on screen 4 right now. We're ranking screen 4 characters. We already did screen 1996, screen 2, and 3, but we're on 4 right now, and we're actually getting ready to rank Judy Hicks right now. He said they need to. Oh, you're talking about they need to go back to. Like, can you kind of explain just a little bit, because I kind of don't really understand what you're trying to say. Oh, you think he's saying that they need to go back to 2 Ghostface killers? Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. What do you think that? I wonder if he. Do you think that maybe? Hold up, had the killers only be 2 guys this time around? Oh, you're talking about in Scream 7? Um, I don't really know what he means by that. Um, oh, Scream 7. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got confused for a minute. Sorry about that. I kind of got confused a little. But we are going to be ranking Judy Hicks from Scream 4. Now, Judy Hicks obviously tragically, died in Scream 5, and so did Dewey. I forgot to mention Dewey. Tragically, it was kind of unfortunate. I found her character to be kind of pretty enjoyable in Scream 4. If I'm being honest, so I definitely think she will be in the S tier. Well, what's your guys' thoughts? Like, what do you guys truly think? Where do you guys think Judy Hicks ranks? Like where do you think she belongs? Because it's kind of difficult for me. I think that I don't know if she deserves to be in the A or the B or the S. I mean, she's a pretty good character. I would say. Um, she's a pretty good character, but I just don't really see like. I think that she's definitely. I don't know. I think I would put her in the A tier for right now. I mean, it's kind of difficult if I'm being honest, like where she should go. I'm probably gonna go with the S. Uh, yeah, she's gonna go in the S tier. I really enjoyed her character. I really did enjoy her character. I think I find her more like. I think she's another great character in the film. You know, and yeah, Charlie's all the way down there in the D because I just don't enjoy him. Which of I would have liked to see Jill versus Sam in the movie. Oh, that would have been really interesting to see. But I don't really want to see. Like I said, as you know, I don't really think that Jill is still alive or anything. I don't think that she would come back. I mean, a lot of people think that she will. A lot of people think that Charlie will, but I personally don't see that happening. Um, that's just personally me. But a lot of people, I guess, like what they like. I just personally can't see it. Her coming back right now. I think I don't know. I just think it's too late in the game. Um, and plus, I don't see her surviving. You know, a stab to the or I don't see her surviving like the paddles. So, um, coming up next, we obviously got Kirby Reed. So Kirby Reed, right? Kirby Reed obviously is one of the best characters as well. One of the best, in my opinion. I really enjoyed her in Scream 4. I think she really holds the film, and obviously Scream 6. She did a great job. Um, but and I don't know if you guys know, but Kirby Reed. I think Wes Craven was gonna make Kirby Reed um, one of the killers. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but or not one of the killers. Excuse me. Wes Craven was gonna make her the final girl. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say that. I'm kind of getting confused. Kirby Reed. I think Wes Craven was gonna make Kirby like the next Sydney. Is what I'm saying. Um, if he would have, if we would have saw his version of Scream 5, I think that would have been a possibility. Um, but definitely, I think Kirby Reed is definitely up there. She's definitely a S tier, in my opinion. I really find her enjoyable. And Scream 4, like I said, is just a great film. Scream 4 is a great film, and I just think it's just a lot of people give it a lot of hate. Like the only problem I had was probably Charlie. as the killer. You know, that's probably my only problem. But other than that, I think it's a great film. Would have liked to see a film where the actors from the Scream franchise are as themselves and at a Scream event and Ghostface Killer attacked them and turned out to use the main one as killer. Oh, dude, that would be so epic. Yeah, I would be down for that for sure. I would definitely be down for that. 100%. 100%. I want Stu to return so bad, and I just hope. Oh man, I just really hope that they do it. You know, that's all I hope. That's all I hope, man. Kirby Reed could have been a good Ghostface. Eh, I mean, I guess kinda, but I'm not really I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it. You know, maybe Stu, or maybe Stu and Roman as the killers. Uh, Roman's obviously. I don't think Roman would ever be. I don't think he would ever come back personally because he got shot in the head. I think he's dead. He's long gone. I think because you get shot in the head. That's basically it. You know, same ability. He got shot in the head. There's just no way that's possible. Like, sadly, you get shot in the head. There's no coming back. Oh, in the movie you mentioned. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I was about to say because I don't think Roman could come back. I was about to say. No, that would be very interesting to see. Let's say, like Roman and yeah, like Stu, working together. Maybe we see. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like as the actual actor, yeah, I know what you mean. But we are gonna be ranking this next character. Obviously, is gonna be Olivia Morris. Now, if I'm being honest, Olivia is not really that great of a character either. I mean, and like I said, Scream 4 is a great film. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great film. I just don't really see any enjoyment, as much enjoyment in her as I do Kirby or Judy Higgs. So if I had to be honest with you, I think Olivia Morris should probably go. I think Olivia Morris should probably go in the C tier or the B tier. I would probably say the B tier. I mean, she's not that enjoy. I mean, I don't know. She's just not really that enjoyable as like Kirby Reed or Judy Hicks, in my opinion. Um, but that's just like my opinion on that. Um, like I said, Scream 4 is a great film. So no matter how I rank some of these characters, doesn't define my love for the movie. I'm always gonna love Scream 4, of course. But there's some characters that I don't really enjoy as much as others. So coming up next, we got Rebecca Walker. Now, Rebecca Walker is not really my favorite either. I don't think she's as enjoyable, if I'm being honest with you. Um, Rebecca Walker. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I don't really think that she's really that great either. I think that she's probably in the C tier. She's kind of annoying. I mean, I understand that's basically her character and all that, but I find her to be really annoying. As you know, she's Sydney's publicist or whatever. She's just, I don't know, man. She's just kind of annoying in my eyes. So, if I had to be honest with you, I'm gonna put her in. I'm gonna put her in the C tier. Um, if I'm being honest. Actually, no, I'm gonna put her next to Charlie because Charlie's not really that damn. I mean, she's definitely little. I mean, she's annoying just like Charlie is. Like, and her being Sydney's publicist, makes her even more annoying. That the fact that her character is just all around just annoying. You know, in my opinion. So no wonder why Sydney, fired her and all that because she's annoying. Like, so she's way down there in the D. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I mean, like I said, Scream 4 is a great film. Don't get me wrong. Scream 4 is an awesome film. But like I said, I don't find enjoyment in these characters. Like in some of these characters. Some of these characters may not be as good, as, I don't think some of these characters, they're not as good as like, Kirby Reed, like Jill Roberts, Judy Hicks, So that's just my opinion. I have to head out, do an internet random by my boy Ledger. Here's your stuff over there. Catch you a little later. All right, thank you, man. Have a great night. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate the support. It really means a lot. Thank you all for popping in. Like I said, I really appreciate your support as always. And be sure to, like I said, hit that like button as well on your way out. But thank you, like I said, for popping in. Greatly appreciated as always. Have a good night. Okay, so coming up next, we got he says, yeah, no worries. I will try to get it when I can. Oh, okay, that's fine, man. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate all the support. As much likes, I'd like to get at least like over 7 likes, tonight. Hopefully, a lot of people will watch like the replay and we get up to, more than 7 likes. That'd be like the goal. But we are going to be moving on to this next character. And this character's name is Robbie. I can't really see his name. Robbie Mercer. Robbie Mercer, obviously, is the nerd. The guy, basically Charlie's like best friend. The nerd, the camera guy or whatever. I would say he's probably in the A tier. I mean, he was a pretty decent character, I would say. I honestly thought that he would have been a good killer. I thought that was the route that they were gonna go. I 100% thought that, he was going to be like a killer, in the film. Um, I thought it would have been cool to see like a nerd be a killer, personally, but we didn't get that, honestly, and it was kind of disappointing. I would have loved to see it, but like I said, it was disappointing. But if I had to be honest with you, I think that he's probably gonna go in the. I'm probably gonna say the A tier. I definitely think the A tier is good enough for him. I think that's a good spot for him. If I'm being honest with you, I mean that's pretty decent. Um, I mean he wasn't bad, but he also wasn't really. He also really wasn't like great, Um, that's just my opinion on that. But definitely a great character for sure, you know. Coming up next, we got Trevor Shelton, obviously, Joe Roberts' boyfriend or whatever, that basically like dumped her and all that. Um, the jackass that dumped her, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah, Trevor is basically. I thought that for a while too, when I was watching this movie. I thought for a fact that I always thought that she was or that he was going to be a killer as well. I thought that he was going to be one of the Ghostface killers when I first saw the movie. It kind of got me thinking in a lot of ways, like just the way his character was, the way he just seemed like he was a little bit kind of suspicious at times. Um, so I definitely thought when I first saw the movie, I thought he was going to be one of the killers, but honestly, I think his character is okay, I guess. Um, somewhat of a dickhead. I think he's a dickhead in my opinion. Like, so if I had to be honest with you, I think because I find him to be annoying as well. Um, so if I had to put him somewhere on this list, I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go probably in the C tier because he's not as annoying. I guess. Well, I think I would put him in the C tier for right now. I mean, he's not that. I mean, he's just kind of annoying. Like I don't know what it is. Like maybe not as annoying as let's say like Charlie or Rebecca, but he's definitely pretty damn annoying at times. You know. Um, so definitely deserves to be in C, in my opinion. Um, Now moving on to the next one. Now this one may be a little bit controversial for some people because a lot of people don't really know. This is we're moving on to Scream 5 now. Which Scream 5 is obviously, in my opinion, probably the worst movie in the franchise. Um, I just don't find it as enjoyable as the other four. Um, the moments in the movie just I don't know it doesn't really seem like a Scream film at all. Like there really wasn't that much uh, chase scenes. Um, Not enough character development. So yeah, Scream 5 just wasn't that great. That's why it's always my last favorite. Like that's why it's always last on my rankings. Um, just because of that, it's just not as enjoyable in my opinion. Like it's okay, like yeah, I'll watch it, but sometimes I just can't. It doesn't have the same rewatchability as the other films, if you know what I mean. Like It just doesn't have that much. It doesn't really have that. It doesn't have that rewatchability, you know, like. So, if I'm being honest with you, so this character obviously coming up, the first character in Scream 5 that we're gonna be ranking is gonna be none other than one of the killers. You guys know her. You guys heard of her before. Um, Her name is Amber Freeman. Now, Amber Freeman is not really a great killer in my opinion, personally. But I guess she's not that bad either. So if I had to be honest with you, I think I would probably put her probably in the. I'll put her in the B tier for right now. I mean, she's not that bad. To me, I think Richie is a lot worse than her, personally. But that's just my opinion. Um, but yeah, I think that's where she should go, probably in the B tier. I think that makes the most sense in my opinion. Um, okay, so coming up next, we got Chad Meeks. Now, Chad Meeks is obviously, we all know that they're grooming him to basically be like the new Dewey. Um, they're grooming him to be like the next Dewey character, I believe. Um, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Because obviously, you know, he survived a lot of crazy bruises and bumps. Scream 5, he survived that brutal stabbing. Scream 6, again, just gets brutal. This gets absolutely just manhandled by Ghostface. Whole bunch of getting, you know, basically just getting gutted. Like he was. I thought he should have died. Like the way he was getting stabbed by the killer in Scream 6. I mean, he should have died from that, in my opinion. But that's the reason why I think he's basically going to be like the next like Dewey character. You know, he's going to basically, they're grooming him to be like the next like Dewey. So if I had to be honest with you, I think Chad's probably right there in the B as well, along with Amber. I mean, he's not that bad. He's not terrible, but he's also not that great. You know, you know what I mean. So I mean, I guess he would probably be right there with Amber. I guess probably in the B. Um, I think that makes a lot of sense. But I don't know what you like. I said, I just think that yeah, that's where he's gonna go. I'm gonna put him in the B, just because he's not really, like I said, he's not really as enjoyable, you know. And Scream 5 just didn't really have that great of character development. Um, so, well, you know what? I'll put Chad Meeks in the A tier. How about that? I think he deserves to be in the A tier because he's not that bad. You know, um, he definitely doesn't have as much. He doesn't really have as much. You know, he's not good enough to be in the S tier though. Like, so. Coming up next, we got Liv McKenzie. Obviously, Liv McKenzie, there was a lot of theories out there saying that she was the the fifth or the third killer in Scream 5, like the secret like third killer. And I tend to think that too in some ways. You know, just the way her attitude was in a lot of ways was, you know, she kind of was a little suspicious. But honestly, if I had to be honest, like I said, I think that she's probably right there with probably Amber. You know, she's not that great, but kind of, I don't know, like she's not really that great. So I'm gonna put her right there next to Amber there. I mean, she's not that bad, that terrible, but she's also not great, you know. Um, okay, so now coming up, we got Mindy Meeks, Chad, the sister of Chad Meeks. Um, Minnie Meeks, I mean, she's not really that good of a character to me. I don't find her as enjoyable. That's personally just me, but um, I like Chad Meeks a little more than I do her. So that's why Chad Meeks is, he's in the A tier. So if I think that Mindy Meeks definitely should be in the C tier. I don't know, like I just don't really enjoy her as much. Like something about her character, I can't really get down with her character. Like, you know, I don't know, but definitely, deserves to be in the C tier. Um, so Richie, now coming up next, obviously you guys know the second killer, Richie. Now Richie's obviously not that good of a killer, in my opinion. I feel like his motive was kind of stupid. Just his character development was pretty stupid. I just didn't really care for him as a killer personally. Um, so if I had to be honest with you, he's not that bad. He's not that terrible, but he's also not that great either. So if I had to be honest with you, I would probably, man, this is difficult. Like Richie's not like a bad killer, but he's also not a great killer either. Like so. I don't really know. Like I would probably put him probably in the C tier, probably next to Mindy, because I don't really like care for him as much. You know, I just don't really find him that enjoyable either. Like a lot of these characters in Scream Five, I just don't find enjoyable. Like I don't find them to be enjoyable. But that's personally just me. Um, so I definitely think that he's gonna definitely be in the C tier for the reasonings of what I just basically explained. I just don't think that he's really that great of a killer. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Scream Five is just not really a great film. That's why it's my least favorite. But anyways, we're gonna be moving on to the next character, which she's probably like my second. She's my second favorite behind Sydney, probably. Um, in terms of like Final Girls, and that is Sam Carpenter. Now, Sam Carpenter is one of my favorites personally. I mean, I think she did. I think she did pretty damn good. I think she's a pretty good character. I just think Scream Five is not really that good, that great of a film. But doesn't mean that's not the reason why it's a bad film. I actually like Sam Carpenter. I like her character. So if I had to be honest with you, uh, I'm gonna put her in. I'm gonna put Sam Carpenter in the S tier because I actually like her character. I really enjoy her character. A lot of people don't, but honestly enjoy her character. Maybe she's not up there with Sydney or anything like that. You know, but she's definitely up there, in my opinion. So definitely the S tier. Um, so coming up next, we got um Tara Carpenter. Now Tara Carpenter, I mean, she's supposedly, gonna be the final girl. She supposedly is being filmed like she's the final girl. I think Sam was more filmed as the final girl than Tara in Scream 5, but I think they're grooming her to be they were grooming her to be the final girl. Even though I think it's probably more believable that Sam probably will be now. They probably both are, but I don't really know. Like I think that they were making Tara the final girl originally. That's what they made it look like, anyways. But in some ways, they kind of like tricked us. Like they made it look like Tara was the final girl, but then they made it look like Sam was the final girl. So I actually liked, like I said, I actually like Tara. So I think she's definitely up there with with Sam, in my opinion. Um, I don't know. They're both fighter girls, I guess, in a lot of ways. So if I'm being honest, like I said, it's just I don't know. I just like them. I like their characters, and they're not the reasons why I hate Scream 5. It's other stuff. Like I said, character development. Um, no chase scenes. I mean, they're not the reason why I hate it. I actually enjoyed their characters. I really enjoyed uh, Sam's character, especially, and Tara's. But so yeah, Tara's definitely going to be up there, with Sam, and the S tier. Coming up next, we got Vince Mocker, the nephew of Stu Mocker and the son of Leslie Mocker. Now, Vince Mocker is not really that great of a character. Didn't have enough scenes. Didn't have enough development. Um, so I definitely think that he definitely should be in the I'm gonna say in the C tier. Just because, like I was saying, he wasn't in the movie as much, and that kind of hurts him a lot for not being in the movie as much. Um, so yeah, that's why he's basically in the C tier because it's not in the movie as much, and don't really get to see him. He didn't really have that great of development, in my opinion. Um, okay, so Vince is definitely in the C tier. Now moving on to the next, the last but not least, Scream 5 character. We got um, Wes Hicks. And obviously, Wes Hicks is not really that. I mean, he's a decent character, I would say. I definitely think he's up there with Chad, in my opinion. Um, he's a decent character. He's in between. So I think he's definitely an A tier. So he's definitely a decent character, in my opinion. Um, not that bad, but also not great. So he's definitely up there with Chad. So that's basically going to do it for Scream 5. Now moving on to the last but not least, Scream 6. So now Scream 6, we got 7 characters right here that we're going to be ranking in Scream 6. And that's basically going to be it for tonight for the stream. But we are going to be ranking, these 6 characters. And this will be, like I said, the last rankings. The last Scream 6 is going to be the last film that basically you guys know. So Anika, the first character is Anika. Now, I think she had more like the weaker deaths probably in the franchise. Her death wasn't really, it was pretty brutal and all. She did have the weakest death, but I'm probably going to put her, if I'm being honest, I think I'm going to put her in the B tier. She's not that terrible. Like I said, I find more enjoyment in Scream 6 than I do Scream 5. I feel like Scream 6, did a better job, in terms of like development, in terms of just chase scenes, all that. I think it did a better job with the setting as well. I think the poster looked better. That's just my opinion on that. I think the poster definitely looks better than Scream 5. But okay, coming up next, we got Danny Brackett. Now, Danny Brackett, I think that he's Sam's like other boyfriend. And I think he's a pretty decent character as well. I think he's a pretty good character. So if I had to be honest, like I said, he's definitely gonna be up there with Sam and Tara. Being up there with with them and Nash tier. Because I think he's a pretty good character. Coming up next, we got Ethan. Yeah, Ethan. Obviously, one of the killers. Boring. What else can I really say? He's not really that great. I guess I'll put him right there with Richie. Probably in C. Just not that great, I guess. That's just my opinion personally. But so I definitely think he'll probably be in the B or the C, somewhere around there. But if I had to be honest, sorry, excuse me, I had to burp. I think that he's going to go in the B. I think he's a little better than Richie, in my opinion. Definitely a little better than Richie. So definitely in the B tier. So we're going to go right there in the B. And like I said, I just enjoy, Scream 6 a lot more than I do Scream 5. That's just my opinion. So yeah. So that's where he's gonna go right now. Coming up next, we got Jason. Now, obviously, Jason was the guy in the opening scene that was basically the Ghostface killer, the one that killed, Samara. And basically, he was the Ghostface killer. He was the one. So basically, the opening scene kind of tricks us a little bit. Okay, you think that's really the opening scene when Samara gets killed or whatever? and he's just basically just looking at her after doing it, and it's just like it kind of confuses you, and you think like, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden, it shocked me when he like started to like unmask, and it was actually Jason, that unmasked, and that was pretty interesting. It was kind of crazy. I was like kind of shocked by that. A lot of like very. I thought it was creative, but I was like, what the hell is going on? Like he keeps on looking, he keeps on staring at him, like, and I just didn't know what was going on at first, and then he started like unmasking, like early on in the movie, and then it's Jason's character, and then obviously he ends up getting killed by Ghostface, the real Ghostface. So I definitely think he's definitely an A plus. I think he's definitely in the A tier for that because I think that's pretty damn unique. Um, so definitely in the A tier. Okay, coming up next. We got Laura, aka Samara Weaving, or her name is Laura in the film. Um, I mean, she did a pretty good job, I would say. Um, so if I had to choose what tier she's gonna be, I think that she's definitely gonna be an A. I mean, I think she did a pretty good. I think she did a pretty good job. Um, and then coming up next, we got Quinn Bailey, one of the killers. Now, Quinn Bailey's not really as great. I mean, she's pretty decent. I mean, I wouldn't say she's that great either. So I definitely think that she's in the B tier because she's kind of decent, but also not great. So definitely in the B tier. Okay, now last but not least, um, last but not least, we got Wayne Bailey, Detective Bailey. Um, Obviously the father of Richie, and Ethan's the brother of Richie, and Quinn's the sister of Richie. So it's kind of similar in a lot of ways to Scream 2, with the whole family thing at the end. But it doesn't really copy. It doesn't really copy Scream 2 all that much. It kind of like, I mean, a little bit, but not really. Like it kind of copies it, but it doesn't really like totally copy it. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of similar though. Like, there's a lot of similar moments. But Wayne Bailey, Detective Bailey, I mean, he's not really that great of a killer. I think he's definitely there with Richie. He's just not really that enjoyable. Um, well, I guess I would put him in decent. I mean, I don't know. I think I would put him in the C tier for right now. No, I guess I'll put him in the B because I did find him more enjoyable than I did, Richie. Honestly, that's just my opinion. I enjoy the film more than I do. I enjoy Scream 6 more than Scream 5. So, I mean, yeah. So I guess that's a pretty good spot for him. But, anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it. That's basically the tier list for tonight. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as always, as well. Hit the notification bell so you guys are notified for my future uploads. I definitely had a lot of fun, doing this. Maybe we'll do, Scream. I don't know, maybe like a Halloween tier list, or maybe a Friday the 13th tier list. Um, I don't know, because we'll definitely do some different tier lists. I'm gonna think of different ideas. Um, Definitely in the future. Maybe like in the next maybe like tomorrow in a few days. Maybe I'll do like a Halloween tier list or something, because I try to do these things like every day. I try to go live every day because I really love the support, of my viewers and all that. And I really enjoy everybody's, I love everybody's, thoughts on, stuff and their theories, But I hope you guys really did enjoy this, and if anybody, listen, I know that there's some trolls out there, as I was talking about. I don't know if you guys know who Scott Walker is, but I had to, tell him quite a few times, about trolling the chat. And nothing against him or anything, but when he trolls the chat, that's when it becomes a problem, Definitely becomes a problem. When people like that, people like that in the community ruin the community in my opinion. And we don't need none of that. We just need to all have fun with each other and have a good time, and just have fun. But and I don't like to be like that. I like to keep everything nice and cool for everybody. To have a good time. So I just sometimes you got to do. I guess. But I just wanted to point that out there. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, to him or anything. It's just that I had to tell him. You got to do what you got to do. We got somebody here. I agree. Charlie was easily one of the weakest Ghostface killers. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I just didn't find any enjoyment in him. And how's it going, man? I'm actually sadly gonna be signing off, but like I said, I just got done doing this tier list, and like I said, I'm probably gonna try to do like a Halloween tier list probably tomorrow or so. I would say probably tomorrow or in a couple days. Um, Try to do something new, but thank you for popping in. But sadly, yeah, I am gonna be signing off here. Um, I had a lot of fun with this. It's something new and fresh. I never had did this before. Um, my first time doing something like this on the channel, and definitely going to be more. More coming, for sure. But yeah, so basically, I got Sidney Prescott, I got Roman Bridger, Billy Loomis, Stu Macher, Mickey, Jill Roberts, Dewey, Gail, Randy, Cotton, Mark Kincaid, Jennifer Jolie, Tatum Riley, Casey Becker, Kenny Brown, CC Cooper, Joel, Phil Stevens, Maureen Evans, Angelina, Shara Darling, Steven Stone, Kirby Reed, Judy Hicks, Stan Carpenter, Tara Carpenter, and Danny Brackett. So all those characters are in the S tier. And then the A tier, I got Derek, Hallie, Martha Meeks, Tyson Fox, Robbie Mercer, Chad Meeks, Wes Hicks, Jason Carvey, and then Laura Crane. So those are all the characters in my A tier. And then for my B tier, I got Sheriff Burke, Tom, Principal Henry, Olivia Morris, Amber Freeman, Liv McKenzie, Anika, Ethan, Quinn, and Wayne. So all those characters for the B tier. And then the C tier, I got John Milton, Nancy Loomis, Trevor Shelton, Mindy Meeks, Richie, Vince. Basically it for the C tier, and then the D tier, obviously Charlie and Rebecca. So, I mean, that's a pretty good overall list, I think. Tell me, those of you that wasn't able to make it tonight, be sure to, watch the replay and let me know what you guys think. Well, on that note, everyone, hope you guys have a great night, and God bless, and peace out. Good night, everyone.